Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thoughts, Feelings, Emotions with your hosts Dan and Danny. And in this week's episode, we got a potential Marvel vs. DC crossover, Tiger King NFTs, and a man swallowed by a whale. But first of all, we're going to go through our rapid reviews and recommendations of the week. And we're going to start off with Loki episode 2.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. Do you think it's better than the first one?
It certainly made me intrigued. I am definitely questioning my views on what I was thinking was going to take place. But
Yes, it does seem to be a bit more of a not so linear story arc.
yeah, also, someone pointed out to me that, well, spoilers ahead, by the way. This is because it's, if you haven't watched it, why are you listening to this?
Yeah, it's been like 5 days.
Yeah. Lady Loki is in it
Yeah.
as the villain, who everyone suspected from the end teaser of the first episode. However, she has blonde hair, which has led people to believe that it's not actually Loki, because one, she doesn't like being referred to as Loki, and so
Yes, I've seen this as well.
there is a character in the comics called
Enchantress.
Yeah, similar to the DC one, but different in terms of
Yeah, so Enchantress
there
is another god of Asgard.
yeah, or like similar vein of like a villain, basically. So people are speculating that it may be that person rather than Lady Loki.
It might be
'Cause-
both,
Maybe they're just combining the two characters, but
because the two
It was-
characters are very similar.
because I was very surprised that they went blonde hair.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have gone darker, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and especially seeing as the actress, I think, doesn't have blonde hair in real life, or at least they've dyed it at the moment. So
Maybe that is why. I think it's a good episode.
yeah,
we
very
definitely
intriguing.
saw.
We
I
learned
liked
that
at the
Mobius
start.
wants to ride on a jet ski.
We did see that. I liked at the start where they had Loki trying to backstab them all. I thought that was very,
Loki.
very Loki, which I know is one of your criticisms of the first episode.
Yeah, I did enjoy that he actually is just trying to deceive them, which I thought was going to be the case. As soon as he saw the thing, he's like, I'm going to be head of the Time Variant Authority if I can, and I will get there.
And he did say that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he does state that.
I think it's a really good episode. Once again, IMDb is like 9 out of 10.
Yep, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully it ends strongly, because they seem to have a problem with ending.
Yes,
Some of their
however,
shows.
I do feel like this one will end
This
better.
one will actually have... Well, I think the problem was that they had ramifications, but they had to change all the ramifications because of the scheduling of all the shows being moved around and the TV and the movies.
Yeah.
So I think now that everything's sort of mellowed out and everything can kind of kick into high gear, they can just go, here are the ramifications of all these shows ending, and now they spread out into the wide world of all the movies and everything, rather than having to kind of tame them back a bit. Trim the edges, as they would say in the show.
Yeah. I think it's really good, and the actual ending of the episode.
Yep,
I
nuking the
wasn't-
timeline.
Yeah, I was a bit confused what was happening. I was like, oh my goodness me, what's happening now?
Well,
Is
my
this the
thing-
creation of the multiverse right now?
That's what I was... Well, because what they stated is that the red line is, as soon as it goes over the red line, those little branching paths, they can't clip them.
No,
because there's
it's
too
a
much
new
stuff, and
timeline then.
they'll just spread, and then it'll be another multiverse.
Yeah.
So when they cut the branches, they're just pruning them back, but if they get too big, they can't cut them, and that just creates a new universe, I think, or multiverse. Yeah. So what it looks like is she's setting out a bunch of them to either be a distraction so that she can do something else, or that she creates multiple universes that she can then take her picking of whatever she wants.
May well be, but we'll have to wait and see.
Also, do you think the Time Variant Authority, the three god things, are actually real? Or do you think it's, or they're dead
I
already
think
or
it's Kang the
something?
Conqueror.
Yeah. Because I'm like,
That's what I think it is.
yeah. Because I'm like, there's too much shade around these people not being, like, there. And, like, one of them does look very Kang the Conqueror. So I imagine, we know he's in Ant-Man and the Wasp sequel.
Yeah, well, I think TVA is the bad guys.
But I like Mobius. Maybe he'll finally get to ride a jet ski at the end of the show.
Imagine that's
Maybe
the
if
end
that's
cutscene.
all the ramifications that happen, is it resets nicely and everything gets re-put back, but it's just Mobius on a jet ski.
I don't doubt that could be an end cutscene.
I reckon that would be an end credit or something. It would just be him at the very end of the show on a jet ski, just living his life in retirement or something, because the TVA is finally shut down. But no, highly recommended.
Yeah, and that is our review of the episode. I've got
Yeah.
nothing to recommend this week. Have you got anything to recommend?
Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. When I watched it in cinemas, I had a little incident where, because I booked it after work,
Oh,
and
dear.
it started as I went to work. like when I finished work, it was like bang on.
Right.
And then I had to rush down there to get in there before, because I was like, oh, it's 20 minutes or so of ads and credits before they actually play the fucking thing. So I have about 10, 20 minutes to get there before it, and I am about 10, 20 minutes away.
Okay.
So I peg it down there, and then I get there, and they've moved the cinema screen showing to another screening, so they're cleaning it, and I didn't have to rush.
Oh.
But I really fucking hurt my legs because I was power walking, and I just kind of...
I gotta get there.
And I just realized, well, I gotta get there, and then my fucking ankles and my legs started hurting, and I got in there, and I was just like, oh, fuck, I didn't need to fuck... And it was a hot day, and I got really warm, and I was just like, I have to wear a mask, and it was just a lot of effort. But the movie was good, and I enjoyed it. If you like the first one, you'll like this one.
Yeah, as far as I can tell from Rotten Tomatoes, critics hate it, but the audience loves it.
Yeah. But they hated the first one. So.
Yeah. Same with Venom as well.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, shall we move on, Dan?
Let's move on to why does this exist? And this week we've got a company that sells jeans that look like you pissed yourself.
Dan, have you ever wanted to piss yourself but not have the warm, watery feeling of your legs all day?
Oh, I dream that every day.
And do you love that look?
It's
that
such a good look.
Stained look? Yeah. Well, now you can. From this company that's like a high fashion end company.
Ah, good old fashioned. Wet look, dry feel. That is a tagline.
Yep. Wet look, dry feel. So the biggest problem, as you know, Dan, with pissing yourself is that you love the look of it, but you hate that wet feeling.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. But this is a company called Wet Pants Denim, apparently. And yeah, they just make trousers that look like you've pissed yourself in all varieties of colors and
Are you going to buy it?
denims. No.
Why not?
Because, Dan, as surprising as it may sound, it's not the wetness. That is a factor. But it's also the fact that you look like you've pissed yourself that is not appealing to me.
It's fashionable.
I know, it's a shocking... I know it's a shocker. But the thing is, these people have gone and found like photos of celebrities who have pissed themselves and are claiming that those are people are wearing the jeans.
I suppose it's a great argument for if you actually do piss yourself. Like, no, I haven't pissed myself. It's just a fashion.
No. Yeah, it's just... But it's so dumb.
The sad fact is, someone's going to buy these.
Oh yeah, people are buying them.
Yeah,
it's
so stupid. The same as ripped jeans. I don't get those either, to be honest.
Yeah.
You pay more money for things that got holes in it.
Whereas you could just buy cheap ones and rip holes in them yourselves.
I mean, exactly. But, you're paying extra money for the holes.
I had to sew up a pair of jeans recently because I had ripped a hole in them, and I was like, well, I could be fashionable, but I also look like a dumbass, so I'll sew these up. And I had to learn how to sew again after like 5 years of not sewing. I was just like, fuck.
Anyway, that was a great topic you brought forward.
Thank you. I know everyone really wants to buy jeans that make them look like you've pissed yourself.
Yeah, they definitely want that. I don't know why they wouldn't. But that's enough of that. And let's go on to stream that movie news into my head.
Do.
And there's been a bunch of trailers this week, but only one particularly has caught our eye.
Yes.
Which is Pig, the official trailer, featuring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, so a truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregonian wilderness must return to his past in Portland in search of his beloved foraging pig after she is kidnapped.
It's such a great synopsis.
Mm.
And I think if you watch a trailer, it's really serious. And it's based on a true story, award-winning
performance. It looks like a horror film.
By Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it looks like a thriller. Where it's just like this horror-y element to it. And it's just a fucking man trying to return to find his pig or something. It's ridiculous. But it's Nick Cage, so it's like ultra serious but ultra stupid at the same time.
It's like, the film was trying to say it's really serious, but you kind of can't take it seriously because it's called a pig. The film's called Pig.
But why would you not want to go watch a film called Pig?
It's so bizarre to me.
Yeah, but I might watch it if it comes out in cinemas near where I am.
But you never know. It might be a good film. It opens up, apparently comes out July 16th, 2021.
Oh, interesting. I might be able to watch it.
So yeah, you might want to go watch it. There is a bunch of other trailers this week, but like I said, this is the one we actually want to talk about.
This is the one we picked as our favorite, or the one that interested us the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of them are just recuts of other trailers.
Yeah, I mean, there is another one by Mark Wahlberg as well.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, that looks boring as fuck. But it's based on real life, and I was just like, oh,
yeah, Mark Wahlberg, I can't remember what the film's called, but it's a film about anti-bullying, about how he basically didn't help his kid enough, and then the kid commits suicide, and then he goes around the United States. It's really dark. but kind of a good message at the same time.
Yeah, bully your kids. Get them. Oh wait, no, not don't bully your kids.
No, help your kids. Help your kids if they go through bullying. Be supportive.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's like a bit of a dark turn, but let's go on to something a lot more happier, which is James
Bullying
Gunn.
movie companies into making crossovers.
Oh, yeah, James Gunn has had casual discussions on Marvel and DC crossover.
So as we all know, James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy, then got fired by Disney, and then went on to make Suicide Squad for DC.
Yeah.
And then is now back, also going to make Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for Disney. So the topic of, are Disney and Marvel ever going to do a DC crossover? The basic answer is no.
Did you say Disney and Marvel?
Disney and DC, I meant. I was getting confused with.
Well, there is rumors
D's.
of Disney buying DC Comics.
That doesn't seem right, because then they'd have a monopoly on the fucking market. I
Yes.
guess. But, yeah, they wouldn't be allowed to, and also, why would they want to?
I never know.
But yeah, he's had casual. He went. I've had casually talked to the powers that be at both Marvel and Disney about it. I would love for it to happen, but before we get all carried away, he also did throw a little bit of cold water on the idea. I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's an impossibility either. That said, I just constantly seeing crossovers and mashups is less enticing to me than a strong story, he added.
I don't know about you, but I don't want this.
No, it's like the Disney Marvel one that everyone like clamors for, where like Star Wars and Marvel. That's what I meant.
Oh, right.
Star Wars and Marvel, where like everyone's like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Wars should meet because they're both space things. And I'm just like, no, make the stories interesting.
The only thing I would like is like a kind of cameos in the multiverse film.
Maybe, yeah,
because they can do kind of like Disney things, or even like put the Mandalorian ship in the background.
Well, even if they just have it so that there's like a acknowledgement in the multiverse that DC exists. So
yeah, something like that. But I don't think I'd want a full-blown
they never cross
film.
over.
Yeah. It's not a great thing.
I mean, maybe down the line when DC has actually built up a catalog of interesting hero movies that aren't all just a mishmash and random and some are good, some are bad, then we might get a crossover. But it's a logistical nightmare, and it's already being proved that Sony and Marvel themselves are struggling to commit to having just one singular character available. And if you look at games and everything, there's very little crossover there. So
yeah, that's very true. Like I said,
in the comics, I know there's precedent in the comics. They have done crossover events where they've like mashed the characters together.
Yeah,
and had like there's a Batman Wolverine mashup called Batclaw or something.
That sounds really
it's
stupid.
like, yeah, they like mash the characters together and they get the powers of both, basically, or whatever, or they look like Batman and Wolverine. And then there's like Superman and Captain America and all of that. They're interesting concepts, but maybe that I would be for.
Possibly.
If you make interesting versions rather than just have, oh, hey, look, it's DC's Superman versus the Hulk.
Yeah, I don't think it would work, because the trouble is you have to have an antagonist.
Yeah,
and
like
the good thing about Civil
Thanos
War
and Darkseid have teamed up together. Like, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, and the good thing about Civil War, about heroes fighting each other, so they don't actually want to fight each other.
No, they're trying to stop the fighting by fighting.
Yes.
Logic.
Yeah, it's very
the long-term ramifications of the effects of what would happen if they all signed the Accords or didn't sign the Accords.
Yeah, you get my point, right? But I think a full-blown DC versus Marvel or something like that, it's just not going to work.
It works on the comics because you can do anything in comics and there isn't a budget.
Yeah. Also,
and you don't have to pay a billion actors.
Comics shouldn't have so much sense in the story. You can just have a cool event. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's cool. But film, you need to have an interesting story.
Yeah, and also you don't have to pay a billion actors all to work together on screen.
Exactly.
Scheduling
and there's no kind of financing and legality agreements.
Like, imagine trying to get Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, all of the Marvel cast, all of the DC cast, all together.
Just not going to work.
No, it's just a logistical nightmare. Video games, it's more likely to happen in a video game.
Absolutely.
Because, like, you'd imagine there'd be a Lego Star Wars crossover game.
But
something like that.
Talking about DC, there's rumours that DC stopped a potential Batwoman/Catwoman or sex scene in Harley Quinn.
Right, you went weird with that one, because we're talking about multi-universes and Lego Batman 2. We could have jumped into logistical nightmares.
It's fine, it's
owning
still DC,
rights.
whatever.
Yeah, but this would have been a smoother transaction, and then we could have gone from talking about Batman to talking about Batman. But okay, we'll talk about Harley Quinn.
Fine, it works, whatever.
So yeah, basically the writers of Harley Quinn, the animated TV show that we both really enjoy. You haven't watched season 2 yet because it's not out.
It's coming on to the UK Monday when it comes out.
Oh, nice. I've already watched it because I signed up to HBO Max when they had a free trial and a VPN, and I watched it all before the free trial ran out. It's very good though. I highly recommend it. But the season 3 has been in progress, and people have been talking to them. Also, the people wrote for WandaVision as well.
Is it?
They did at some point, or they worked on WandaVision. And then, so they basically spoke to the writers and the producers, Justin Halper, and spoke about the relative freedom he and the co-producer Patrick Schwimmer experienced while working on the show, and the notable instances in which DC objected Batman going down on Catwoman. So, yeah, this blew up on Twitter, and Zack Snyder, old mate, jumped in as well.
Always getting
but basically, they went, heroes don't do that. They don't have sex, is basically, or are shown to have, despite the fact that DC in the comics has shown Batman's penis.
Really?
Yeah, there's a comic line, there's a comic book where, it's like a dark label or something, they're like adult rated, and it's just a silhouette of Batman's penis, and you can see it, and it's Bruce Wayne or whatever, and you can see his penis. And then they have had instances where, because superheroes have kids, so obviously they've had sex. But it's basically, they went, oh, you can't show Batman, because they wanted to put Batman going down on Catwoman in the show.
Yeah, that seems a bit outlandish.
Well, I mean, the show's pretty outlandish anyway.
Yeah,
and they just wanted to see what
Batman at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's more or less, I don't know what the visuals that they do. It's probably like, oh, it's just his head popping up from off screen and Catwoman lying down moaning or something. Like, you don't know the context of what the scene is. Like, it's not just full graphic porn, like, that some internet creators would love, but it's probably just, it's basically probably just a quick gag or something that shows Batman going down on Catwoman or whatever. But we don't know. It might not even appear in season 3 because basically DC and Warner Brothers went, nope, heroes don't do that. We have to sell it to kids and toys, even though we've got an R-rated show which has, and we're doing Joker that's R-rated, and you
can't damage the heroes. Basically.
Yeah, you can't basically show a superhero going down, and so everyone's now saying that Batman is the DJ Khaled of the world because DJ Khaled doesn't like going down on women. And yeah, a lot of people have just like, well, this is an argument for how stupid rules are and whatnot. And I mean, ultimately, I don't give a shit. Like, if Batman doesn't go down, it's a comic book character. It's not a real life person. Yeah, and maybe Batman should go down.
No, I don't think it should happen. I think Warner Brothers are right to an extent. It is a hero character. If it was the villains, fine, whatever. The villains, they're meant to be kind of considered bad.
Yeah, but is oral sex bad, Dan? Are you not? Would you not go down on you? Yeah, but this isn't a kid's show.
Yes, but would parents buy the toys if they knew what those toys represented?
Yeah, but they already do that because Batman's already gone dark, hasn't he? Like all of Justice League, Dan.
Yes,
Batman's a murderer.
It's not so bad as
it's more the concern that the fact that, oh hey look, Batman just murdered someone. Oh no, my little Timmy can't do that.
You would be surprised.
Yeah, but people are stupid.
That is true.
Like, a kid isn't gonna watch Batman go down on Catwoman and go, oh my god, my life has changed. Oh,
Well, talking about...
Kids are already watching porn. Who gives a shit?
That is true. But talking about Batman and kids, Lego Batman...
Oh, don't say it in that way.
Lego Batman Movie 2 is unlikely to happen due to film rights.
Yeah, so the Lego rights were originally with Warner Brothers, which is why we got the Lego Movie 2, and the Batman Lego Movie, and the Ninjago movie, and I think those were all the Lego movies that we got from Warner Brothers. And now the Lego Movie rights have all gone to Universal. So I didn't know this. This was recently just brought to my attention because I really like the Lego movies.
Universal
Ninjago.
Pictures have a 5-year exclusive deal for Lego.
Yeah, so they can now have access to the Fast and Furious franchise as Lego if they want to.
Yeah, but only for 5 years.
Yeah, but it means that you won't be getting any DC or Warner Brothers properties in Lego movies anymore. Which,
not for the next 5 years.
yeah, but
Maybe
we
potentially
could get
after.
Lego Jurassic and Lego Minions and many more movies.
I've got a feeling Lego Minions are going to be a film.
No, they already got Minions. They don't need Lego Minions.
They'll be Lego
They'll make
Minions
Lego-
as well. They love Minions.
Well, there are Lego Minion toys. There are the little Lego Minion things. But I'm just like, I really liked that universe. That was a lot of fun.
I'm not going to lie. I've not seen a single episode or a single film of the Lego
Watch the Lego
movies.
movie. The first one's really good because it's made by the same people. Well, it's produced by the same people, I think, who made the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and the Mitchells versus the Machine. All great movies. The 21 Jump Street reboots with Jonah Hill and those guys. Very, very good movies. They were going to do the Han Solo movie before they got fired because Disney didn't like comedy and wanted it to be serious. But yeah, the first Lego movie is really good. The second one's pretty good. Not as good as the first one, but it's very hard to do as good as the first one. Lego Batman is a really great Batman movie. And the Ninjago one is fine. I like the Ninjago one. It's dumb. It's not it's the worst one out of all of them, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. It has a soft
just
spot.
a little kid out in your heart.
Yeah, I loved Lego. I still have a fucking box full of Lego up in my loft. It's just great.
I had off-brand Lego.
You had Duplos.
It wasn't
Which isn't
Duplo either.
off-brand.
That's the American one. There's the English one.
No, Duplo is just big blocked.
Yeah,
Lego.
not Duplo.
It is
it's
owned
the,
by.
I think Mega Block or something.
Yeah, that's the dumb, stiff.
I believe it's
But no,
Mega Block.
Mega Blocks is, I think, Lego as well.
No,
I think there's a
it's
lot of-
basically exactly the same as Lego, but it's not Lego.
Yeah, it's the big version, isn't it?
No, it's still
Where
little
like,
ones,
It's
but
like
they're,
plastic.
they're just off-brand Lego.
Oh, that I fucking found a car boot sale where they were like selling off-brand Lego, and I bought some, and it was just the worst shit in the world. It broke so easily, and it just looked horrible. I don't know what it is about Lego, but it looks nice. But with these ones, it was just weirdly shaped, like Lego figures, and it wasn't. It was just dumb, and I hated it.
Yeah. Anyway,
But that's Lego,
that is Lego.
and that's all the movie news.
That is all the movie news. And this week, we've not got a gaming news segment. That's because last week, we did a
Was
TBL
E3.
on E3. So, if you want your gaming news for this week, you have to go check out the TBL.
Yep, we got clever with this. We stretched our content.
Over 2 episodes. This is
Yeah.
project managing. This is. But so,
Branding.
instead, we are going to go on to the tech time and science shenanigans of the week.
Starting with space and science
Yes, and you may remember last week about Jeff Bezos going to space.
on his spaceships.
Yes, on Blue, whatever, Origin?
Origin.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
Blue Origin. And apparently, well, you may notice off the last week's episodes, there was one space left. And apparently, that sold for
$28 million.
Yeah, I got really confused by that because I saw the 8 and I thought it was a B. And I thought it said 2 billion million.
Million.
And I was like, what the hell has happened here? No, sorry, yeah, 28 million.
So some lucky madman paid $28 million to go die with Jeff Bezos and his brother in space
Good money, good money.
for 11 minutes. Do you reckon Jeff Bezos is going to go for the Mile High Club?
Mile High Club. It wouldn't,
But-
it wouldn't be called Mile High Club, would it? It'd be coming something else, like
The Atmosphere Club. What would it be called? Okay.
the Mile Below Club?
Mile Below?
Yeah, like a mile below the International Space Station.
No, that doesn't make much sense. Mile Below would be underwater.
Or they could call it the International.
Leave it in the comments if you have a suggestion for what having sex in space or having like a...
Yeah,
a
what should
situ-
Sex and Space be called? Send us an email. Just that, nothing else. No context.
No context, just what you think Jeff Bezos do in the Mile High. I like Mile High Club, but
No, I don't like Mile.
Blow My Mile Club. I don't know. I'm trying to think of space terms, but I can't. It's weird.
Call it a
Anyway.
Sticky Face Club because, I don't know.
Floaty Jizz Club.
Yeah. Can you get pregnant in space? Or does it just float?
I imagine you could. I mean, because you got inside. It's not going to
Yeah.
float inside, is it?
I don't know. Would it float inside?
No, because your liquids don't, do they? Send in if you know. I'm not Googling this.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure. No, because I was looking. Your body's esophagus and everything is good at moving liquids. It's more powerful than gravity.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need gravity to contain your liquids. But
it might actually help because it would make it touch the wall or find the egg quicker, right?
I have no idea.
Because it would have like less like friction from gravity trying to pull it down away from the egg.
I have no idea, and I think we've got a bit off topic here.
Let's talk about robots with dicks.
What? That's not what that said.
No, but it's basically Tencent, everyone's favorite global Chinese corporation that owns stakes in every company in the world in America, has brought out a robot that performs amazing jumps and flips by swinging its cyber penis around.
Okay, it's gonna be a tail.
Yeah, but it's a cyber penis.
They knew what they were
happy to
doing.
see you. They knew. So basically, it's a little box with two wheels and then an arm with an extra wheel that sits underneath. So it looks like a penis sitting out, and it looks really happy. But it can do so. The big problem with like Spot the dog is that it can't. It's very limited in its movement and its ability to. It's basically it can climb over some stuff, but it can't like jump or anything because
it's like the center of gravity could easily be knocked over, and you can just push it and it'll just fall over.
Yeah, so this is a little wheelie boy that will swing its massive dick around to do flips and stuff and get momentum.
So it forces its momentum and center of gravity in a different place.
It's called Ollie, Tencent Ollie, if you want to look it up and watch videos on it.
It is a pretty cool video.
Yeah, it's very impressive tech, but like I don't know the point in it. Unless you want a big swinging dick bot, it doesn't have much of a purpose unless you want it to do tricks and shit.
It's probably just to do with like actual showing how this is possible.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a drinks table coming to you, that would be great.
Yes, but however, having it flip around isn't going to help.
Have it those like pull off the tablecloth things where they've got drinks tables. It can do a flip
and catches them on the other side.
Yeah, be great. Yeah, I don't know much more to say about that, but technology is crazy. And
yes, technology is crazy. And talking about crazy technology, apparently there's been a bike that's been hacked, so it's self-balancing.
Yeah. So basically, engineer basically went and created a bike that a talented Chinese engineer is taking the requirements out of the equation with a self-balancing electric bike that's smart enough to get around a city all by itself. In its current form, the bike screams research project with electric motors and flywheels mounted beneath its seat, electronics and battery pack strapped to the top tube, and the servo-powered system used to turn the front wheel. It's not pretty, but at the same time, it's watching its action. So basically, it's a lot of balancing counterweights and everything, trying to stabilize a bike.
And I could do this because I can't ride a bike.
You can't ride a bike?
I can't ride a bike.
Yeah, fair enough. I can ride a bike. I can do no hands on a bike. I can't do a wheelie on a bike. I always struggle with a wheelie. But that's because I ride bikes that are like mountain bikes and they're fucking heavy and they don't...
They're not supposed to do wheelies.
Nah. Like, I don't...
They're supposed to stick to the ground.
Yeah. They're fucking heavy and they're not light and you need like a BMX or something to actually do a wheelie. And I've never had... I have owned a BMX, but I fucking hated it because it has no brakes.
Well, what? They're not brakes.
BMXs aren't meant to have brakes because you're meant to be doing. You need to be doing tricks with the wheels, and you can't have brakes blocking the.
Oh, right.
So you put your feet down.
Oh, that's how you.
And I hated fucking ruining my shoes.
Yeah, why do you want to do that? It's ruining your shoes. Cost money,
yeah.
They do.
So does the bike. But yeah, this is just crazy cool. If you want to watch it, it's just a bike that drives around by itself. It's
self-driving bikes.
Yeah, it's crazy though because it uses like the LiDAR system from like smart cars.
Is that the next
correct
thing? Self-driving bikes. Before
I don't know.
It doesn't.
He doesn't show anyone sitting on it, which is annoying. So I imagine it can't do it with someone sitting on it. But
you can bring a bike to you. You can call a bike instead of calling an Uber.
It'd be cool if it has the motors that help you with the pedaling and stuff. That'd be also cool. But I imagine
on the Boris bikes. Yeah, the Boris bike app.
But yeah, they show it going through buildings, which is insanely cool. But it's got like a lot of it like can do turns. It can do. It's just very impressive. I wanted to do a wheelie. Imagine it could do a wheelie. If this bike could learn to do a wheelie, I'd be very impressed.
Maybe. But let's go on to the big brands of this week, and we're going to start off with Windows 11. So I know I mentioned the rumors of a Windows 11 last week in a 11 minutes relaxing sounds video.
Oh fuck.
Well, apparently, a few data miners have actually got a version of Windows 11, and people have actually installed it. And spoiler alert, it's Windows 10X.
Yay! It's just Windows 10 again.
No, it's 10X, so it is quite a bit different.
What's different then?
So the start menu, or the whole taskbar, is no longer left aligned; it's now middle aligned.
Nope, don't like that.
The search, everything's now got rounded corners on it. The start menu, instead of having it like as a
What
list,
is it with tech
it's now as a
companies
grid.
making smoothed corners? I fucking hate that.
Because it looks more futuristic.
Have rigid edges. Have everything rigid.
I'm sorry.
Have
no one
every
agrees with
business
you.
person's personality is rigid.
I've just noticed. Wait, what? That's my. Oh, I didn't notice that. On the start menu, it's got the new folder icons.
Cool.
Sorry, I didn't. I got a bit sidetracked there.
Sidetracked by Windows icons.
Yeah, they changed. Basically, they pretty much made everything more rounded corners. They've improved widgets supposedly. Improved
They had
optimization.
widgets. When did Windows have widgets?
Hmm?
When did Windows have widgets?
Well, you used to have widgets, and they got rid of it, and then adding it back in again.
Oh, cool.
So your
didn't even know they
notification
had
panel is technically classed as widgets in quotation marks.
Oh, that's stupid.
But no, the new widgets is like, I don't know. I'm not a great fan of it. They're also redoing the Windows Store.
As long as they don't have those fucking live notifications on the side where it just you have to turn them off, or otherwise they just show shit, and I'm just like, nope, don't like that.
One thing I do, well, so this version of Windows is going to be more designed to be more streamlined between tablets and desktop.
Oh yeah.
So right now, the desktop version that's using tablets is quite finicky.
And how integrated is Xbox Game Pass? Because I imagine that's going to be a selling point behind it.
It will be. Also, you can now quick align your panels or your I forgot the word.
Browsers?
Your tabs or whatever, your applications.
Oh.
So normally you have
Just
the
snap 'em
minimize
into-
button,
Yeah.
so instead of just minimizing, it will bring up a grid. So you can say, do you want it left aligned, left corner, right aligned? Depends on the corner. You can
Is
click
it
on
right
that.
or left?
You can have right or left, or you can have corner based.
Is it a right-winged box or a left-winged box?
Well, I don't know what you mean. You can right or left
Politics
align it.
joke. It's a politics joke, Dan.
Oh,
Is it right wing or left
oh,
wing?
okay. Okay. You got me. You got me. I think this is still an early build, so imagine it would change. Supposedly you can actually still change the taskbar to be left aligned.
Yes.
They're also changing the icon for the Windows, but the taskbar it's no longer a window slanted. It's now just flat.
Oh no!
Flat square.
They've already ruined it the last time when it was all beautifully coloured boxes, and now it's just a window.
Yeah, I mean there's a
Oh,
couple of other
Microsoft
changes as well. But
curse you.
those are the bigger ones. There's no news if it'll be free. I'm assuming it will be.
They would do it free, I imagine.
I'm
Unless
assuming they
it's
would
like
do it.
They'll have a free version and then a business version where you can buy it for like 80 quid.
Well, no, I imagine it'd be a free upgrade from whatever you have now. If you already have this business, and it'd be a free upgrade, whatever you have.
But you still pay for it.
They would have to
You'll
have
pay
some big
for it.
rules to want people to pay for it again. After they said Windows 10 would be the last version you will ever need and convinced everyone to upgrade to it. And then they're like, nope, we now want this because people aren't going to change. People will not change to Windows 11.
Oh no, I know people who still are on Vista and fucking 7.
Yeah, I mean,
It's ridiculous.
to be fair, I don't mind Windows 10. I think Windows 10's alright.
It's not terrible. I liked Windows 8. I like most of them.
Windows
I'm
8 is
still one of
terrible.
the-
There's something wrong with you. in the head.
I liked Windows 8.
You're broken in the head, mate.
I didn't. No, I don't know. I just liked it. I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was great. I don't fucking have a loyalty to a software for a PC.
I think it was just more
mean-
like Windows 8 didn't like to do anything. It was a really bad software. Just badly designed.
I mean, the laptop I had was terrible. So
Oh, yeah,
and
right.
they
fair
had,
enough.
and I was just like, well, it worked on that, so it worked. It functioned. It didn't crash, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Anyway,
Well,
going from Microsoft to Samsung, Samsung has released their first 6G prototype.
yeah, they're gonna come out with more deadly viruses to get people to upgrade to this one.
Well, apparently, it's actually in the terahertz of frequencies.
Yes.
For
Do you wanna
those
explain
who
what
aren't
that
nerds and don't know what that means, essentially it means we're going to have tiny like the transmitters are going to have to be right next to your house. So every house would have to have one installed instead of it just being in the lampposts. You must have piggyback systems on mobile phones to broaden everything.
Yes.
Because
people are not going to accept this.
They're not going to accept. Well, I think it will happen. They've seen the speeds of it. It's incredible. Apparently, it can actually do 1 terabits per second.
That is impressive. I recently got my 5G upgraded. Well, I got my phone upgraded to 5G, and I have only experienced 5G like twice.
Was it fast?
The area I live doesn't it? Yeah, surprisingly.
It's supposed to be like a gigabit a second, isn't it?
Well, normally when I have 4G, Google drops down because it's got this stupid setting now on YouTube where it drops down to the lowest setting for your data. Yeah. Even though I set it to have it at the highest streaming because I have a load of data and it doesn't matter to me. And it's just like, well, we're going to do data saving for you and drop it down to 240p resolution. I'm like, no, 1080p or higher, please. Stop trying to go low. And then it just buffers and it runs shittily. And I'm like, oh. And then I went out today and I went somewhere where there was 5G. And I was watching a video and it was 1080p, not buffered once, smooth, crisp, clean. And I loved it. And now 6G.
And I mean, the other great thing is latency is significantly reduced as well, which means it's more suitable for game streaming.
Oh, yeah. And if Microsoft wants to use games streaming as its big platform thing, they'll definitely.
And it means it'd be a lot easier to stream 8K resolution or VR and holographic video. So the future is looking very bright for 6G. They're aiming to release this in 2030.
That's quite a while away. 9 years.
Well, they only just started. It's the first prototype.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I'm just like, oh, it's coming in 2030. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, that's 9 years away. So we've got a long time.
And the module for doing it is about the size of a penny.
Very nice.
So it's, like an
It won't cost a penny. It will cost a pretty penny.
Yeah, it costs a very pretty penny. But the future's looking bright. And what else looking bright? Talk about Razer. Razer is releasing the Project Hazel mask in limited drops in its 4th quarter year this year.
Right after a pandemic. Their timing is impeccable.
Still be happening, but just not in our country. Hopefully.
Yeah, well. You've had your first vaccine and I've got mine coming up.
Yeah.
So we're all booked in or booked off.
Get your vaccines, people. You'll be fine.
How's your 5G coverage, Dan?
That's good now. Oh, God, look at this. The 5G chip is brilliant.
So we've spoken about the Project Hazel mask before, and we both liked it, I think. I liked it. I'm not going to get it.
The box is cool because it's an ultraviolet box that kills all the germs.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've said that because it comes with those little capsule things that filter out the air, you have to replace them. So
yeah, same way as you would replace a normal mask.
Yeah, so you're going to be paying for this for quite a while if you do get it, because I'm sure there'll be Razer-specific capsules that you can only get with Razer masks, and you have to be paying for them, and you'll get a monthly subscription of maybe 20 or 10 or 5 or however many they want to charge you. They haven't said yet. But yeah, it's a very cool mask. Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll buy it because I'm bored, and I want to go on a plane at some point, because I think this would be a good plane mask.
True. Also, if you want to see what it looks like on you, there's an Instagram AR filter.
Oh boy. Who doesn't love Instagram?
Yes, Facebook stealing all your data once again.
For a mask. Speaking of companies stealing your data.
Tim Cook has said side-loading iPhone apps is not in the best interest of the user. So this has come out of the Epic versus Apple debate. And saying...
Do you want to explain side-loading to people?
Side-loading it's kind of similar to... So Apple's very strict in the App Store, saying certain things can't be on there. And he's saying allowing other apps to be on there isn't in the best interests of the user. So
the app that you pay like $1,000 to say I'm rich is perfectly okay on there because it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like you pay $1,000 to buy the I am rich button and it just says I am rich. And it's an app and you get to gloat to your friends that you paid $1,000 to press an I am rich button. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But like a company trying to get more money out of you because you're gouging all the profits off of them, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, he's essentially saying that Apple's trying to protect privacy and everything, and saying...
No, they just want more money.
Yeah, no, that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, there's other viruses on these other apps, so therefore we will not allow them on the App Store. So we'll be very strict.
Your phones track people?
Realistically, it's just to deal with...
selling all their data?
Epic versus Apple. Well, Tim has claimed that Android has 47 times more malware than iOS devices.
Yeah, Android is more widely used.
Android is
by more...
also open source and, yeah, like I said, used on more devices.
Of course, scale it up. Yeah, it's probably about the same.
Yeah, I mean, just don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't download dodgy-looking apps that are promoted on ads that have like... I get the weirdest fucking ad every time I go on something where it's ad promoted, and it's this stupid like Bejeweled Blitz game, but it's a zombie apocalypse game, and you have to... The ad is the dumbest fucking thing, because it's like one of those match up the free sequencing thing, and the fucking person in it is the dumbest fucking person. Because they like drag it. You could clearly see the pattern that you're meant to go for.
Yeah,
and they drag it. And they just drag it in the dumbest way that it doesn't match up. And then their character dies. And it's like, oh, are you smarter than them? Yes. Anyone with a brain is smarter than them.
No, but that's the design of the app, because it makes you want to play it just to prove, like, okay, this is really stupid. I'm going to prove how stupid this is.
No, it makes me go, fuck this. I'm never playing this. It's annoying. Stop promoting it to me.
Anyway, that is it for our tech time this week. But we're not over just yet. We've got topics of Weird, Wacky, Wonderful World coming up, and we're going off and starting with a big one of Joe Exotic will start selling NFTs and weed from prison.
Yes. So everyone's favorite tiger killer, murderer, and Carol Baskin hater. Oh, boy.
Did he kill Carol Baskin? It wasn't that a thing.
No, he was planning to. That's why he's in prison.
Oh, right. Attempted murder.
Yeah, attempted murder, and he was trying to get Donald Trump to pardon him before Donald Trump got out of office, and he had a limo set up on the day that President Trump was gonna leave, and it was like, oh, he's gonna pardon me immediately after he's leaving, just before to say fuck you to the libs and all that, and no, he's still because no one cares. But yeah, you can buy Joe Exotic NFTs and weed if you want. Why you would want them? His star is fading. Everyone's forgotten about him. It was a thing a couple years ago at this point, and I never watched the show, so...
Well, apparently he's currently serving a 22-year prison sentence.
Yes, for attempting to kill Carol Baskin. That bitch.
Yes. But yeah, like I said, you can buy the NFTs, good old NFTs.
Yeah, buy from a horrible person who tortured and basically killed tigers. But that's the man you want to support.
Yes, but talking about art, could Jeff Bezos buy the Mona Lisa and eat it?
Yes and no. Basically, a lot of people... I don't know why people want Jeff Bezos to do this, because...
He's rich?
The person who would do this... No, but the person who would do this is Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, he's far more susceptible to being peer pressured to do something stupid like this. But analysts have basically said that the Mona Lisa is worth around... It's priceless... quotation marks, because it's priceless, and it's estimated to be around 68 billion or 50. Yeah, if you wanted to buy it, it would be around that, around 50 billion, around 168 billion, depending on who you ask. And Jeff Bezos sits at 194.5 billion.
He could do it.
He could do it, and people are like, well, why doesn't he buy it and then eat it? Because that's the logic. But there's a change.org petition for him to do this. And it's been in operation since 2007, apparently.
2007?
I think that's what it said. A public benefit... Oh, no, that is change.org that was set up in 2007. I read that wrong.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure this hasn't started in 2007. People aren't that nuts.
No, I would be amazed if someone did set up from 2007. You'd be surprised. Stuff does blow off from years ago.
Yeah, but he wasn't that rich that long ago.
But yeah, would you eat the Mona Lisa?
Oh, don't see why not.
Oh, also, if people are concerned about the oils and stuff, people have said that you can eat oil, like oil paints and stuff like that, without getting sick.
I wouldn't mind the taste of it.
Would you go down on the Mona Lisa?
I would go down on the Mona Lisa.
Would you make a Mona Lisa?
I would.
Speaking of making moaning, the Olympics, Dan, was meant to happen last year, is happening this year. Basically... You know how athletes love to fuck?
Yeah.
The Olympics gives them condoms every year so they practice safe sex. Basically, the Olympics Village is telling the athletes to take your condoms home for socially distancing, and sex in the Olympic Village is not allowed.
Oh.
So, yeah, well, they're basically saying don't fuck because you'll spread COVID if you fuck in the Olympic Village.
No, you can.
And
you just can't do it face to face.
no, they don't want you to do it at all.
Also, the government guidance in our country. You wear a
Yeah, but
mask
this
and
is
don't
in
do it face to
Tokyo, Dan.
face.
This is Tokyo. This is
True,
Tokyo.
but a lot more
Olympics.
strict than our country.
Yeah, so they normally give around 150,000 condoms away.
Oh my god.
So-
What's wrong with people on this planet?
Well, they're the fucking peak fitness people in the world, and they want to fuck a lot.
They must
This
have
is
good
all
stamina. It must be a good time.
Yeah, I imagine getting fucked by an athlete is very good. I imagine getting crushed by a thick woman's thighs is all very pleasurable. But yeah, they're now telling the athletes to take the condoms home. So they're still giving the condoms out, but you got to take them home. So all I think is they're just going to not use the condoms and just fuck without them. But I think what's happening is the athletes are going to get taken to their rooms and they're not going to be allowed to leave their rooms. So they're not going to be able to socialize like they do in the normal times.
That kind of makes sense.
Which also defeats the point of going to the Olympics, because you don't go there for the glory of winning a medal. You go there to fuck. Like, fuck the medal. I want to fuck.
Very true. Very.
Why do you think Usain Bolt's retired? Because he can't fuck
He
anymore.
hasn't got the stamina. He can't go as long.
No, he's not allowed to go.
Well, he's got a wife
Like
either way.
I don't think that would have stopped him. You don't think he would have still gone? He would have still used those condoms. Does he have kids? Maybe he used those condoms.
Maybe. But
Wrap
talk
them around
about
their head and
swallowing.
suffocate them.
A man has been swallowed by a whale by Cape Cod.
Yeah. So a lobster diver survives being eaten by a humpback whale.
Who actually survived this?
Yeah. Basically, he went in and then got spit out.
He was like, humans taste disgusting.
So he's the modern day Jonah.
Jonah. That is his new nickname.
Or the fucking cunt from Pinocchio.
Apparently, he also survived a plane crash.
Yeah, this dude's had a lot of bad things happen to him, and he somehow survived them all. But yeah, he was doing a lobster. He went diving and got eaten, and the other guy in the boat was confirmed his story because basically he was there was a couple bubbles because you have to check for bubbles to make sure the person who's diving is fine. And then just a whole bunch of bubbles suddenly appeared. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? And then a whale pops up. And then he's in the mouth. And then he just gets spat out. So, yeah. This dude called Michael Packard, 56, of Wellfleet, gives the thumbs up on Friday morning from Cape Cod Hospital in High-Ends, where he was taken after he was eaten by a whale.
Okay.
So, yeah. Christ, that dude's lucky. Would you... Because it's not true that you can live in a whale. Because
No, you die instantly.
Well, yeah, but whilst the you can like fit in the veins, right? Because they're massive.
You can fit in the veins? Is that true?
I don't know. I think
That
it's
cannot be
either the
true.
vein. Well, they're big, so I don't know. We could look this up, but we're not going to. You can comment in. Can you fit in the veins of a whale?
This is the podcast where we go through the life's most bizarre questions of... Does sperm
you
float in space? Can you fit in the veins of a whale?
Googling that. Oh, I don't. Okay, incognito tab. Let's not do this on my actual search tabs. Ooh, can you get COVID twice? Yes, you can. Can you reheat rice? Can you reheat chicken? Can you travel to Wales?
Yes, apparently you can. TIL blue whales, humans can swim through the veins.
See, what's so?
That's quite impressive.
As a NASA results, NSA official policy forbids pregnancy in space. Female astronauts are tested regularly in the 10 days prior to launch, and sex in space is very much frowned upon. So far, there have been no confirmed instances of coitus, though lots of speculation.
Oh, yeah.
So, we
It's
don't
definitely
know
happened.
the answer. I imagine there's fucking in space. But yeah,
There's at least
apparently...
masturbation.
Well, yeah, I imagine with Elon Musk, he's going to be all about fucking on the way to Mars. So we
Yeah,
might
it must
get our
happen.
answer.
In the International Space Station, they're just going to, yep, I'm
you
just
not
going to
think
jack
Musk
off while
is
looking
gonna
at the Earth.
Oh, imagine trying to give birth in space. That would be crazy.
The child's just going to die. It's going to hit the walls. It's not going to stop. It just
Push!
Float.
Gets fucking shot out like a torpedo.
Well, technically reverse momentum, so the woman and the child would both hit the walls because it's like an explosion.
Maybe this is what is fucking the cause of the Illuminati, so we can't.
Oh no! What
fucking
would happen is like they would separate, but then the child would be pulled back into the mum because of the umbilical cord, and then it's gonna hit each other
and collide,
and it's gonna keep bouncing back and forth.
That's what created the Big Bang. It's the mother and child crashing into each other. And speaking of things crashing into each other, NBC's Ultimate Slip and Slide show halted over nightmare explosive poop outbreak. So basically, this is a TV show where you go down a slip and slide, and it's the ultimate one, and it's very big. But a lot of people were having explosive diarrhea, so they had to shut it down. It's apparently the forthcoming season of the show.
Oh yeah. What is this? It's oh my goodness me.
So basically, you go down a slide down, and it's very scary because it's big.
Is this the whole premise of the show? You just got on a slide?
I guess so. I don't know American TV programming.
It can be weirder than Japanese.
Maybe.
Maybe it is.
Well, I'm sure they all steal each other's ideas off of each other. Like, there's an American Total Wipeout. There's a because they all use the same sets. They all just build the sets and then fly out and change the name of the show. Because why would you build your own sets when you can just buy the rights to use someone else's and it's already built? Is what I learnt recently.
Yeah,
fun fact for anyone. But yeah, big old poop. If
Absolutely.
you like poop, they had to halt it.
And our final topic of the evening: Sony Music rights of artists with decade-old debts.
Yeah, so basically, the music industry is horrible for contracts that are horribly anti-musician, where they just basically steal all the music rights and then you can't make any money off them, and you're indebted to the company. So Sony has finally written off a bunch of debt for artists, and now they can get money off their streaming. Because basically the contracts didn't when they signed, didn't include streaming, because streaming wasn't a thing. And so stuff like Spotify, Amazon Music, and all of that was making money, but it wasn't going to the artists.
Right.
Because why would you? Because you didn't sign that contract. You couldn't predict the future and see streaming was going to be big, and you couldn't make all your money off that. So Sony said it could not name the eligible acts due to confidentiality agreements, but source said it would include some household names, and the pictures here are Jay-Z and Beyonce. There's a couple other big ones that are under Sony. So musicians typically take on debt when they first sign to a record label. They are giving a lump sum known as an advance to pay for recording studios, video shoots, distribution, and other expenses. The money is then paid back when they sell their music. However, many artists never earn enough to repay their advances, often because they get unfavorable royalty rates from their own record companies. Heritage black artists have been particularly affected. And until the debt to their label is repaid, those artists are not eligible to receive income from streaming and other royalty payments. So basically, they went, well, we're going to clear all those debts so you can make money off your streaming.
Well, is that good?
Which is good.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to end the podcast on.
Yes.
So I hope everyone enjoyed. Check out a TBO from last week.
Yep, all on the E3 presentations and stuff that came out. A little bit of a disappointing show.
It was a little bit, but you can check out our TFEs.
The show itself was good. Our show, not E3.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want people getting confused about that. Our thing was good.
Yes.
We are
yes, it was.
highly trained professionals at this.
Yeah, we're
We're
good
not two people who just started this because we were bored in a pandemic.
No.
We're fine reviewers of modern culture.
But check out our socials in the description, and we'll see you next week.
Have fun, everybody. Bye-bye.